the Aramaic, and again, you must be very careful. People, when they are translating these documents, they all have their own particular bent. So, you know, Yah knows what he said and what he didn't say, and who's who and that kind of thing. Number 4, and a certain rabbi, Nicodemus, came unto him by night for fear of the Jews, and said unto him, How can a man be born again when he is old? Can he enter a second time into his mother's womb and be born again? Great big question mark. Jesus answered, Verily I say unto you, except a man be born again. Now hear this, because I know what's in the Christian world, in their Bible, and what they are thinking and how they misinterpret. Hear this, born of flesh, body, and of spirit, soul, in the body of flesh. Well, I'm going to cover what the Christians believe shortly, and is why every pastor, evangelist, preacher, teacher, priest on the planet has got it wrong about what born again means. Alright, so Jesus answered, Verily I say unto you, except a man be born again of flesh and of spirit, he cannot enter into the kingdom of God. The wind bloweth where it listeth, and ye hear the sound thereof, but cannot tell whence it cometh or whither it goeth. He goes on to explain what he means. Number 6, the light shineth from the east even unto the west, out of the darkness. The sun, S-U-N, ariseth and goeth down into darkness again. So is it with man, from the ages unto the ages. Verse 7, when it cometh from the darkness, it is that he hath lived before. Christians out there, if there's any listening, we don't get too many of you. It is that he hath lived before. You have all lived before. And when it goeth down again into darkness, it is that he may rest for a little, and thereafter exist again. And I just have to say that Yah looks so cool at the moment. He has put on the pinpoint. What is it?
I walked into the wall, you notice that?
The pinhole rather, glasses. And he's looking really cool. Alright, so did we get that? When it cometh from the darkness, it is that he hath lived before. And when it goeth down again into darkness, it is that he may rest for a little, and thereafter exist again. Verse 8, so through many changes ye must be made perfect. As it is written in the book of Job, I am a wanderer, changing place after place and house after house, until I come unto the city and mansion which is eternal. Now they're talking about a body of flesh which is eternal, because the soul has been made perfect and is then worn on the outside white, like a garment of pure white linen. I want to, there's more after this, but I just want to stress, because this information has been removed and you have the teachings of the devil Paul crapping on about the gospel of grace. Do you get it here? So through many changes must ye be made perfect. In other words, who does the perfecting of the soul? Is it Jesus? No. You. It's all on each one of us. Ye may be made perfect. The gospel of grace is a lie. He went to the cross to release his blood, which contained the soul of the Father, Yahweh. As Jesus, he said, if you've seen the Father, you've seen the Son. The Father and I are one. If you've seen me, you've seen the Father. If you've seen the Father, you've seen me. We are all one, because it was his soul in Jesus that had to be spilled through the blood, releasing it, because at that time the blood contained the soul. Now the soul is worn over the body of flesh, God on the outside, no longer on the inside. So until I come unto the city and mansion which is eternal. So the soul reaches that state, and it's now. This is why it's called the end of times. It's the end of the resurrection times of the soul. God is impatient to get on with building paradise, and he sure as heck isn't waiting another 427,000 years for the Hindi to make it back to the Godhead, etc., etc., etc. Verse 9, and Nicodemus said unto him, how can these things be? And Jesus answered and said unto him, art thou a teacher in Israel, and understandest not these things? Verily we speak that which we do know, and bear witness to that which we have seen, and ye receive not our witness. If I have told you of earthly things, and we believe not, how shall ye believe if I tell you of heavenly things? So it's talking about how it is that the soul, like the sun, rises and sets, etc., and these are all heavenly things. No man hath ascended into heaven, but he that descended out of heaven, even the Son, daughter of man, which is in heaven. Heaven is a time. It's a time frame. Heaven comes to the earth when God, who is on the earth, builds his kingdom, and all heaven is poured out upon the earth, meaning the souls have been kept in abeyance. Now, to give you an example of how the King James Version, for example, the New Testament, omissions become obvious to remove the knowledge from the psyche of the reader. So, just quoting the 7 verses, not the 10, that people are left to deal with. There was a man of the Pharisees named Nicodemus, a ruler of the Jews. The same came to Jesus by night and said unto him, Rabbi, we know that thou art a teacher come from God, for no man can do these miracles that thou doest except God be with him. Number 3, Jesus answers and said unto him. Now, I want you to get it here because the question wasn't even asked. But get a load of this. It says, verse 3, Jesus answered him. Answered him what? There was no question. Verily, verily, I say unto thee, except a man be born again, he cannot see the kingdom of God. And then verse 4, Nicodemus, who hasn't even asked the question, says, Nicodemus saith unto him, how can a man be born when he is old? Can he enter the second time into his mother's womb and be born? Question mark. And then 5, Jesus is supposed to have said, Jesus answered, verily, verily, I say unto thee. Now, get a note of the word change. This is really important. Except a man be born of water, hello, previous one was flesh, body, flesh, water, and of the Spirit, he cannot enter into the kingdom of God. Then he goes on, that which is born of the flesh is flesh. It's not what he said earlier. That which is born of the Spirit is spirit. Hello, marvel not that I said unto thee, ye must be born again. Now, first of all, he's answering a question that wasn't asked. And second of all, by the time he's given an answer to a question that wasn't asked, has anything been made clearer to anybody? No. So what have you got today? You've got the Christian preachers, teachers, evangelists, all the rest of you must be born again. Come and pray the sinner's prayer. You must be born of the water. And they equate the water being to the washing of the word spoken over them. Then everybody becomes clean in this life and they enter into the kingdom of God. That's not what it's all about. It's all about all are gathered on the judgment now, because everybody has been reborn, gathered upon the earth for the judgment. This is the period of time that is the resurrection. He being the firstborn, he being the first to be resurrected, and all born after him of flesh and of the Spirit. In other words, they were conceived within the wombs of their mothers, who brought forth the saints of old, those that have been beheaded. Even before the revelation was given to John, it was all done and dusted then. Revelation was given to him on the Isle of Patmos in the year 96 AD, on the 96th day of the year. Why? Because it was the 63rd anniversary. Isaiah 63, hello, it's what it's all about. It was the 63rd anniversary of the resurrection, which occurred Australian time, April the 6th, 33 AD. April 6, 1943, 1910 years later, it's like walking through a veil at the resurrection. He walked into the future to be within the womb. Once again, the flesh and the spirit within the womb of his mother, this time known as not the Holy Virgin Mary, but Daphne Go-Lucky, the most royal woman, the 12 stars representing the 12 tribes of Israel, the sun and the moon under her feet, etc., 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 and he being the remnant. So, with that, we're out of time.